Hello. Hi, Dream. Hi, Stars. How's it going? Let's see how slow we are today. And yes, Stars, I just saw that pop up. You are correct. Also that I'm proud of you for reinforcing your own boundaries. That's the other bit. But yes. Um yes, you are often correct actually. You're a smart cookie. We're gonna do more duckies cuz they spark joy, I guess. Um And I don't know. It's just the vibe. It's the vibe of this color is rubber ducky, honestly, and flowers, I guess. But I'm really pleased with how this turned out, actually. Um, I fucking killed it. Did I scan that one already? I think that I did. Um, I'm like out of it and like not in the best mood today. I won't lie. I won't keep that from you. But we're gonna get some work done and we're gonna take some deep breaths and we're gonna make it through the day, even if that involves dragging ourselves through it like a cat on a leash. Okay? I didn't get paint water. I knew I was forgetting something. Gosh dang it. All right. You're all walking to the kitchen with me. That's how this is going to go. Because there's no point in putting it on a screen in order to walk, 15 steps away and get some water. Like, silly goose. Silly duck? I don't know. Why is a goose sillier than a duck, do you think? Because the first adjective for goose that I think of is not silly. Maybe the long neck. And like, we consider them less graceful than swans, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, scary, horrifying. Those are the things that I think of with geese. And like, bitey is also one. Exactly. We're on the same page, Stars, today. 100%. I don't know why I put that over there. It goes over here. Oh man, you guys want to know something really funny? So you remember when we did these and we spattered paint all over the place and I said I'm going to find paint everywhere? And I did. So like there's paint splatters on my ring light that's up here. There's paint spatters that were on my laptop, on anything in the vicinity here. But I wore this same bra that I wore when we did the splatter. And you know how I can tell that it was the same bra? Because there were little splatters of orange and robin egg on the bra, like right in between where my boobs are. That's some talent, I think. Yeah, exactly. It's so funny. Okay, you're in the right spot. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do have a sale going on. It's a little one just because that's like what I can afford to do. But you have a little bit of extra time on it. It's not just a Black Friday thing. It's a, I don't know, get your order in before I leave the state kind of a situation. I do live in Alaska, which means that the USPS dates for when you can order and still have it by the 25th are different. I have that listed at the top of my shop right now. Just be aware that it's soon. So like by December 12th, I think is when I can actually get those out and according to USPS have it be there in time for the 25th. That's in the US, out of the US, who knows? And if you're in Canada, get fucked, I guess. Because Canada Post is on strike. Um, which is like, I support striking. I think that's great. But also, that's kind of a pain in my butt, which is the point of a strike. It makes sense. But also, I have things I need to send to people in Canada. Come on. Well, I also have a special drink today. So, because I decided I deserved a little treat early today. Um, I don't know that I really have anything else important to say. I think that's pretty much it. I don't know. I'm just in. Oh, I guess we can clean my palette. Actually, that's what we can do right now. Yeah. So these are. How far can I turn this without spilling it everywhere? Olipop soda, which has like a bunch of fiber and probiotics in it, which is nice because I'm old and I need to worry about my fiber intake now. But this one is ginger ale, which I just kind of trusted that it was going to be good because I haven't tried this flavor before and it is really good. So, and I love a ginger ale. I love a ginger too, as a matter of fact. That's a joke for Cap, even though he's not here. But let me just clean up some of our green colors today because this is not where we're going. Yeah, Dream. That's what it is. It's just fizzy ginger drink. But different ginger ales have like different intensities, I guess is a way to put it. Yeah. So this one is a bit sharper than Canada Dry. I do also like Canada Dry. But this one is very much more like biting into a chunk of fresh ginger, so it has like that spicy element to it, which I really like. But I do very much like a ginger ale. I don't know what that is. Is that a thing where you live? I'm assuming is why that's coming up. I haven't had that. I wonder if I can find it. I love just trying new things, honestly, but that's not always easy. It's gonna get worse too, actually, with the whole tariff situation. Which, if you know, you know. Yeah, I know the fruit exists because it's used in a lot of like energy drinks, right? So, interesting. Good to know. I didn't know that. Cake Velds. I think so. I'm pretty sure that's the one that they use because I don't know why exactly. And yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's in Red Bull, which is where I know the word from. Oh, okay. I do think that it is used in energy drinks, though. I'm pretty sure. We should just Google it right now. Let's go down the rabbit hole together, shall we? Oh, I'm sure that was disappointing. Hmm. Yeah, I pretty much only go for Red Bull anymore. I've had like Monster and stuff too, but nothing super fancy. Yeah, so it's in Monster Energy. It also says it's in Red Bull, according to the Cleveland Clinic. So there you go. Interesting. Yeah, it probably has like some sort of stimulant effect. The plant is more packed with caffeine than coffee, it says in this little article that I'm looking at. Also, my nose is really runny today and it's annoying. Interesting. We learn new things every day. Oh, interestingly enough, one of the benefits listed is gastrointestinal relief. I don't know that I've ever felt gastrointestinal relief when I have had an energy drink. I think that's mostly the opposite, honestly. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's not a drink, Katie. That's your paint water. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know, new things. This is why I always keep my drinks on the opposite side of my paint water, and usually it works, but sometimes it doesn't. I didn't actually drink the paint water, just for the record. Although it's only I guess the cup is still my paint water cup, even if I haven't painted anything yet. Um, have I explained this at all yet? I don't think that I have. Can you tell that my brain isn't working? As if my brain ever works. Don't worry about it. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I love legends like that. Like the little folk stories. Those are always fun. Okay, so I guess I talked about this last time I streamed a little bit, but I wanted to do rubber duckies and bubbles as a washi tape. Um, and then I was like, well, that's kind of boring. Like that's something that anybody would put together. So I decided, like, I thought on it for a little bit. And when we made the so busy sticker sheet, I added a little rubber ducky button because my mom in her little button stash had rubber ducky buttons that I remember from when I was a kid. And, you'd love digging through the little button thing and sorting them by color and size. And that should tell people you're neurodivergent, but they don't pick up on it. Um, but I very distinctly remember these buttons because they were in there for ages. Um, and so I was thinking about that and the rubber ducky, and I was like, what if it was like a rubber ducky and then the bubbles were buttons? That would be cute and be a little bit more original. So that's what we're doing here. So we're going to paint the buttons to kind of look like bubbles as best as I can manage it. um, and the rubber duckies are buttons, but they have those little loop backings on them. So it's not like you can really tell, but we know that they're buttons, okay? So that's the important part. But hopefully this is going to be a washi tape design. It's a repeating design. Oh, excuse me. This is what I get for having a fizzy drink on stream. You guys get to hear me like burp all day. It is a repeating pattern. I tested the repeat on the digital file, and so that should be good. The issue I'm going to run into with this, just like generally speaking, is the background. Because if I just watercolor the background as is, it's not going to line up properly on either side. So my plan is to do like a watercolor background on a different sheet of paper, and stitch that together to make it so that it will be repeatable without an obvious line in it, which is going to take a lot of background work, but I can do that when I'm traveling and stuff too. So we might do this and then do a background as well on extra sheet of paper, which is this. I'm wanting to do it like a blue, like a bright blue, I think, in the background. But we'll see if I change my mind once we get the other colors down. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I feel like I should have more to say, but I really don't. I've been really boring lately, which is good. I do get about 1 million vaccines tomorrow, and we'll see how I feel after that. So I may or may not be present in various spaces this weekend, depending on how shitty I feel. But let's just start on our duckies with our color of the month, and we can just continue on our merry little way. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Velds. But I'm also getting a tetanus booster and hepatitis B because I'm not sure if I actually got that one before or not. Usually I would ask my mom because she was in charge of all of our vaccinations when we were kids, but I'm in that weird age range where it wasn't required for a while, and my mom's dead, so I can't ask her. So I'm getting COVID, flu, and those two. So I'm going to be fucked up. And my body is also just dramatic when it comes to getting vaccines, usually. My body's just dramatic in general. Unlike my brain, which has never been known to be dramatic. You know how it is. But yeah, I figured I might as well get them all done in one fell swoop because I'm also traveling at the end of the month, at the end of December month, not this month because it is the end of the month, um, to visit my elderly grandmother and my aunt who's going through chemo. So, getting a boost is the right call. Oh, interesting. Yeah, they just let me sign up for it. We'll see if my insurance covers it. I would guess that it would, but I don't know. We'll see. So maybe I'm going to be, paying a bunch of money. Yeah, that's fair. I just, considering the way my country is going, I would rather get a boost than not. I haven't had a boost of that one in ages. Like, I know that for sure. I don't remember ever having got one as an adult, so it's definitely a better plan than not. Yeah, I also have the last vaccine for HPV to get too because that came out when I was a teenager and it wasn't recommended. And then the recommendations changed. So I've got that one next month. I've got so many doctor's appointments coming up, you guys. Like the election went through and I was like, all right, time to schedule literally everything to try and get it in order. So I also think maybe I've earned enough money this year that I'm going to get booted off of Medicaid, but not be able to afford another health insurance plan. So it's just like, hoi. I love existing in this country. It's so fun. But so the HPV one, I've got a dentist appointment next month. I also have an appointment for starting the hysterectomy process, hopefully, when I come back in January. And I've contacted a mental health clinic about getting an ADHD diagnosis. They have a wait list though, so it'll probably be a while on that one, but we'll see. But yeah, your girl has a million appointments coming up. I'm really bad about keeping on top of stuff like that. Like people are like on all of the paperwork, it's like, who's your primary healthcare provider? And I'm like, hope. It's just hope that nothing goes wrong. Um, like, sorry, it's too expensive in esta economia. Like, not here. So, fun fact, don't move to the US. Just throwing that out there. Right? Honestly. I don't know. One thing I will just say this outright. One of the things I'm really worried about with going to the mental health thing is that they'll try to diagnose me with autism instead of ADHD because I specifically do not want an autism diagnosis because I want to be able to immigrate. And because people are weird about autism, if you have an autism diagnosis, there are a lot of countries who will deny you outright, including two of the ones that I have considered briefly moving to. So I don't know, that's like a weird worry, I think, in comparison to what you would usually worry about with that kind of stuff. Like, oh, what if they think I'm faking or something? I'm like, what if they diagnose me with the other thing that, like, I'm pretty sure I have, but I don't want that on paper. Yeah, it's bad. The way that people treat autism is not good, especially on like paperwork and stuff. Um, and I don't know. Yeah, yeah. And that's fucked up. Like, that's fucked up on so many levels, and it drives me insane. But, like, the fact that I have to worry about that at all, and it's, like, actually a reasonable worry, is, like, wild to me. So we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, they're booking, like, way out. I haven't even gotten a response back, even though I sent in my intake paperwork. But, like, when I sent in, um, just like a basic question. It took them like a week to get back to me, so it may be a while. Okay, you're still damp. You're dry. Okay. But I don't know. I'm like, if somebody's like, oh, well, you don't have ADHD, that's whatever. It's like, okay, if I don't like register on the official paperwork, whatever, I know my brain's fucked. I'm not worried about that. Like I've learned enough helpful coping mechanisms through the ADHD community that, like, even if that's all I get, that's helpful to me. But like, it's new fear unlocked. You know that meme with the guy in the t-shirt? One fear? That's me. Okay, I need to decide what color to do the buttons. Every other time we've done bubbles, I've done pink, like teal, and yellow. Because that kind of has the chromatic aberration aspect to it that a lot of bubbles get. And I think it looks pretty. But with the buttons, I'm wondering if I should do something a little bit different. I know that I have a sheet in here where we did bubbles. So here, we did some bubble studies here. These are actually used as, words, brain, please. Used as assets on my website, actually. Which are also going to be used for the Joy Journal that I never actually got sorted. It's still in the back of my head. I just like haven't had time to deal with it. Or the brain power. Like the stars have not aligned, the brain cells have not aligned. But I think doing something like this will work. Like especially this one right here I think looks really good. So I think doing something like that on the buttons. But I don't want them all to be exactly the same color. So I might switch the like tricolor situation here a little bit. Maybe we want to do some like little paint tests really fast. Hi, Grim. I was finishing my thought before it ran away from me. So maybe we actually want to do a little bit of color tests here. I'm just going to get this one down so that I remember what I was doing. And then I will do the things. Oh, interesting. Thank you. That's good to know. I think I used this yellow when I did those. Boop, boop. Okay. I need to do stretchy. I'm doing a stretchy. Oh, interesting. That's good to know. Yeah, I need some sort of medical help. I'm tired of raw dogging life. Like, I'm exhausted all the time, and it's not fair. Like, other people don't have to work this hard at existing. I should be allowed to change my brain chemistry. So, like, that's really the point of doing this. And if they decide I don't have ADHD, then we need to look down the anxiety and depression realm. Like, but I've been struggling so hard all the time. And, like, I manage it, but I shouldn't have to. You know? Like, I don't know. I think this is going to be a little bit deep. I might start crying. Don't worry about it. Like, we're fine. But, like, I think part of the reason that I didn't look for help before I did was because I think that I didn't deserve it. And so that's like, we can count this as the nice thing, actually, Grim. I think I've reached a point in my life where I actually realized that I deserve to be here. Which is like huge. Because I lived with not thinking that I deserved to be here for over 30 years. Like, holy shit. That's progress. Thank you. Yeah, I think I just connected those dots right now, and we're going to be emotional about it for a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. Just, huh. And holy shit, was it a lot of work to get there. What the fuck? I'm taking a sippy now. The fact that there aren't any tissues over here is actually an affront against my person and God. Like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. But yeah. So we're making progress. And I did that on my own. Imagine how unstoppable I'll be with real therapy. That's not fair to say I did it on my own. You know what I mean, though. I also have community who has helped with that, but same vibe. Okay. Doing tricolor. This is what I was doing. Brain function. Who is that? She's gone. She has left the building. Let's see. If I do like a magenta and maybe like Viridian. Hi, potato! I like that. Then maybe like our color of the month yellow. That's just like a darker version of that. That's nice. Which you are the softer one. That's fine. This was for Dan. Yeah! I am pan. I didn't put on my other rings today either, but usually I have like stacking rings that are pan pride color. Hi, Bewitch! Good to see you. This one was cobalt. Shock, well, not shock pink, it's called opera pink. And Hansa yellow. But yeah, I don't know. I've also come to terms with some labels. I've started putting genderqueer on all of my various labels, forms. That's what I mean when I'm doing all of the medical shit. I don't know. Yeah! That's such a cute one. That's adorbs. Yeah, no hype for pants. Well, except for the fact that they're keeping my legs warm right now. We appreciate them for that, but also fuck pants. I don't like them. I'm trying to like I could just change that sentence. I'm trying to think and it's not working very well. Okay, so that is gamboge. Sorry, I'm a little sniffly now. What if I do that in a little bit of purple? Now we're working towards non-binary over here. Yeah, I'm in sweatpants, so... But I didn't wear pants most of yesterday, if I'm being honest. So that would be technically our warm color there. So let me do like... this, maybe? I don't like that, actually. I like that yellow and that blue, that's fine, even though it's going to make a little bit of a brown. What if I do like a violet red instead? Yeah, I like that better. Okay. Okay, gamboge. This is phthalo. And violet red. There's like a proper name for that color, but I never remember what it is. They've got like brilliant red and then crimson red or something, I don't know. But that's the one that's violet tinged. So I like these two. This one's like aight, but I'm not as enthralled with it as I could be. Again, that's these ones end up looking a little preschooly, which is fine. We don't have anything against preschool, but I think these two are where we're heading for, I think. But maybe there's other colors that I would like together, because like really chromatic aberration often has like a green tinge to it too. So what if we do like green? These are gonna make like a nasty color together, but that's okay. Green, like if I do this color. Yeah, I don't think that reads as bubble. It is a fun color combo though. Okay, so I think we're sticking with the tried and true. I'm glad that I tried out some other things, but I think I'm just going to stick with the same thing that we have been doing. I do also think that I'm going to mute for a second and go find a tissue because my nose is still running. So I'm going to mute. You guys will still see my tuber moving. Don't worry about it. Okay, I got some tissues. Oh, that's like warm. We've been hanging around negative 14°C here, which is like 7 or 6 degrees for anybody using Fahrenheit. It's cold. I have fuzzy socks on and it helps. But I do think there's a certain point of cold where it feels colder than it actually is because it's warm enough for the moisture to still be in the air. That's my theory anyway. Ew. That's illegal. Make it stop. Okay. I think I'm gonna start on one of these big buttons so that I can like get the vibe down. Oh, actually, you know what? Well, okay. Making decisions. I could do masking fluid on the buttonholes. But I'm also doing this as like I'm editing this digitally. So if I just paint over the buttonholes, I can just remove it in digital. And I don't know. A lot of times I go, I don't think anybody would want to buy this, and then somebody's like, I need to purchase this. But if I was planning on selling this, I would be more careful about the buttonholes. Yeah, the weather do be a changing. I don't know what I want to do now that I've had that thought. You know, I think we're just going to try it on the big button and if I don't like it, then we can do something else. Because what I'm doing right now is I'm just pre-wetting the paper so that the colors all kind of like mudge together. That's a technical term, mudge. They gotta mudge together. But I can just like put water around the buttonholes and it'll be fine. Hi Aiden, good to see you. Let's do the lighter set first, and let's see what I think. Let's see what I think. Ah, nice, Aiden. All right. What it does is it means that after I finish this, I have to go see if I still have the giveaway set up. That's what it does. Ooh, yeah. We've been having like a lot of words in my brain. Like pressure shifts and stuff. And yeah, my joints are not happy. Although my joints are like never particularly happy. It would be great if there was a code to get basically a free sticker, and it would be even better if one of my incredible mods had pinned that to the top of this post. This chat. I can word. No, I can't. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let me go and check this. That's what I'm doing. I know, it's wild what wonderful things we can find in the world. Oh, my browser says it's -4 Fahrenheit outside. That is not what my watch says, but it does kind of feel like that. Brain? Yesterday was Thanksgiving here in the US, and my brother got some Martinelli's, which is sparkling apple cider. And what am I doing? This is what I'm doing. We put one outside to get cold, and we left it out there too long, so when I popped it open, it did the like freeze. But only when we opened it, which is always fun. Like, it's cool. This is the same thing. Let me just double check and make sure that that is actually what I want it to say. Okay. So we will start a giveaway. And it should pop a little thing in chat. And it always does a double A for no reason. Hi, Waterboy. Good to see you. If you are subscribed, you get extra entries. You do have to be a follower. Enter. What else? What else do I need to say? You need to be willing to give me your address. We can run that for like an hour-ish so that people have a chance to wander in and enter. You could also combine this with the shop order and the coupon and get 2 free stickers if you wanted to. Yes, I see Sippy. I see Sippy. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Little late for that, Aiden. I will say I will ship anywhere in the world. This will go out first class USPS, which is just basic letter mail. But if you're in Canada and you win, I will still ship it to you, but we will need to wait until the Canada Post stops striking. Just throwing that out there, just as a warning. I did take the sippy in case that got missed. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't know where any of you live, actually. I've never known that, and you definitely aren't in my phones so that I can send you letters. Okay. I This kind of looks more like a tie-dye than a bubble. That's fair, water boy. I do have your phone number, as a matter of fact. Um, I think I need to do like more rounded stuff and then smooth it out a little bit. I'm trying to remember how I did the bubbles before, and I do not remember. So we're just gonna keep futzing around with this and see how it goes. Because, like, at the end of the day, since I'm doing this, like, almost entirely digitally, like, setting the pattern up and stuff, I can just get rid of buttons that I don't like. Because there are some that are, like, really wobbly because I realized that I couldn't draw a circle partway through. Um, and started using an actual stencil, which I should have started out with. But, like, I always have this moment of hubris where I'm like, I've traced the circle down. I can draw a circle. No, you can't. Don't do it. That is muddy as hell. Yeah, I think I put too much other color down there. That's okay. Yeah, they are. But like, I'll actually, you can see both sides of this right now anyway. One of these sides I started with not doing a stencil. And I can tell really obviously which ones I didn't do with a stencil and exactly where I started using a stencil. But you know, maybe you can't. Yeah. Yep. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, these ones right through here. This is the one I started using a stencil for, and then all the ones past there. I did. This one too, I didn't use a stencil for, I think. Yeah. Hashtag artist problems. I think. Maybe I want to pull some of this up. Because that feels like it's harder to see for you guys, but that feels more like bubble-fied to me than the really dark colors. Maybe I'm gonna lift some of these up. Yeah, that's one of the things. So one of the big things and advice I give to other artists a lot, especially artists who post on social media, don't point out the mistakes in your own work because nobody will see it until you point it out. You gotta talk about it like there's nothing wrong with it and nobody will notice. Yeah, I like that better. I think the lighter colors help, and then I can just shade over that to make the button vibe happen, and I think that will be better. Okay, so paper towel, you're now my #1 assistant. Yeah, anything creative, honestly. Just people won't notice the mistakes unless you point them out. And people will react a lot more positively to your work if you react to your work positively. So, like, as a creative who has anxiety and is also just like the owner of a brain who's a bitch to me all the time, yes, I feel negatively towards my work a lot of the time. And I let that out on stream more than I do other places. But if you say, like, if I make a post and I go, oh, these places in the process were difficult for me, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. People will respond to that and in that light. But if you go, oh, I hate this, it turned out bad here, 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 and here, that's how people are going to respond to your work. You're setting the tone for how people interact with you. Um, which is why a lot of people who are like scared of what people on social media will say tend to couch their own statements um, in that light to try and like head off bullying at the pass. But what you're really doing is saying, well, I'm bullying myself, so you should join in. And like it's difficult. It's something you need to learn to be more positive about your work. And even if you're lying, that's fine. Nobody knows. It doesn't matter. Right? So like I can look at a piece and be like, "Oh, I don't like this thing. I don't like this thing. I don't like this thing." But if you start training yourself to see the positives in the pieces that you like versus and you express that versus, finding all the pieces you don't like, you'll start reacting to your own work differently too. And like again, this is a slow process. It's gradual. It's not easy. I still work on it a lot, but it does really improve the interactions that you will have. Yep, exactly. Yep. I think I'm just gonna paint over the buttonholes. I think I've decided I don't care. Especially for these little baby guys. Like, you're so yiddle. I also think maybe I just need to not use quite as much pigment. And that will make me feel better about life. Like, I don't know, being creative is hard. Like, in general. Because you're being really vulnerable about stuff, like, all the time. And it's exhausting. Hi, Tens! Yeah, that's good. I could have. He was a beautiful moose. Well, but she was beautiful just as she was, and I decided to change her. Much of the problem is capitalism, yes. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, Quells, for sure. I did. I did. And like, so I don't tell people. So like when I posted this and I did put on my Patreon that there was a little spot where I had to do some minor watercolor surgery. But I'm not going to tell that to anybody else. I'm not going to post that like when I go to um, Instagram or whatever to say that the sticker is going live. I'm not going to say that. And chances are that nobody's going to notice, especially when it's like sticker size because it's harder to see the details anyway. But like there was an extra leg right here. And like I can tell where it is. I can tell where the paint isn't exactly right. But like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can tell like super close up. I can't just like do this because it won't autofocus. But like you can tell when it's really up close. Because there's just a little bit of orange underneath there. But like overall, nobody's gonna notice that. Man, my stack of art is just like a disaster over here. I'm such a mess lately. Lately. You know what I mean. I need to like reorganize stuff really bad. But I don't have any space in which to put things, which is the real issue. Okay. I feel like there should be a better way to do this, but I like the way that it's turning out, so we're just going to keep doing it the difficult way. I'm also going to keep sniffling all day because it's cold and therefore dry. I want to get the base layer down on all these buttons, and then I want to go back and shade our duckies. We also have to do eyes and beaks still. Beaks are definitely going to be orange. I'm not sure about. Maybe like a dark gray. Maybe an orange tinted gray. We'll see. Yeah, they are pretty spendy, but I've decided that it's worth it. My brother got into them from somebody that he follows. I'm not sure who. I don't remember. But I've been getting like flats of them through Amazon, which is still expensive, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit less expensive. And I just got the ginger ale, which is the one I'm drinking today, to try pretty much because I hadn't had that flavor yet, and I do really like it. So, but as I've mentioned before, I'm of an age where I really need to watch fiber intake. Getting there. I'm old. But there's some really interesting flavors. Unfortunately, my favorite flavor from them that I've tried so far is a limited edition flavor, which they did that just to make me specifically angry. I think limited edition flavors should be illegal. Like, legitimately. I think that's stupid and horrible. Like, as a neurodivergent person, if I find something I like, I want to continue to use it. So if you do like a limited edition thing, that's bullshit. Just give it to me. I hate that. It's the worst. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I feel like, I don't know, there's like a specific, and this is a problem with capitalism, I will say. There's a specific problem where, like, when I get something that I like, I would like to be able to buy that same thing again when it wears out. That's also apparently not allowed. See, that's horrible, and I'm sorry. I feel your pain. Like, I don't know, just don't do that. Just let me have the thing. I don't get the whole limited edition thing. Ooh, that sounds really good. Oh, that's what that noise is. My brother started the dishwasher before I sat down. He asked if it was okay if it was going to run during my stream. I'm like, it's fine, but I keep hearing weird noises, and I'm like, ah, right, that's the dishwasher. Oh, have I mentioned when I'm traveling to you guys? Because I actually have dates for that now, and I don't know if I told you. Because last year we got to do like a Christmas Eve stream. I don't think we get to do that this year, which I'm kind of sad about, honestly, because that was really fun. I enjoyed that. It was just a nice, chill little time. Yeah, exactly, Aiden. It's like FOMO and like, oh, you better buy it all up fast. And it's just like, I don't have enough of a competitive spirit for this, honestly. Like, I hope we all make it. I hope we all have our favorite flavor forever. Like, it's stupid. Hell, I don't even do like Pokemon cards or anything just because like that concept drives me bonkers. What was I saying? Traveling, that's what. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. It's wild that in like the age of globalization that we still like can't get things. Like there's a candy mix that Calibras really likes, and I still have an unopened bag of it sitting around um, that I bought and haven't opened, but I have to pay like $20 for it, like a bag of candy that's like this big. I tried them on stream for my birthday the first year that I was streaming. So like not this most recent August, but the one before that. Right? Yeah, region locked is fucked up. And yes, I do, Aiden. Although, speaking of, okay, who else remembers Altoid Sours? I've heard they're coming back, but I haven't seen them. But I still remember those like tangerine ones were so good. They were old. They were when I was a teenager, Aiden, so you would have been like not born yet. Um, that's why. Also, those cream savers, is that what they were called? Those fucked hardcore. Like, I miss those. Those were so good. It's true, Aiden. That's why you don't remember them. You weren't here yet. You do? Wow, that bumps moving to Canada up on my list. As if I didn't have enough reasons already. Yeah, also true, Aiden. Um, but they were like very limited time. I don't even think they were when I was in high school, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think they were when I was younger than that. Um, but they were so good, and I heard that they were coming back, and I haven't seen them yet. I wonder what happened with that. What if I just fall down a Google hole right now? I say as if I'm not already looking it up. Yeah, yeah. The chokehold that um, Hershey's has on this country is ridiculous. Oh, they were only available at one retailer. I see. Which retailer was it? Oh, at Cracker Barrel. That's homophobic, actually. But that does mean that maybe I can get some really overpriced ones off of eBay or something. Theoretically, they dropped at the end of September. All right. Oh, Kale didn't send them to me. I bought them because it was his favorite. Um, yeah, Hershey's. I don't eat Hershey's. So I mostly, actually, speaking of bad chocolates, I used to get Lindt instead. So I am full of heavy metals, which like we already knew. We knew, like, but now I mostly get Tony's Chocleone, however you're supposed to pronounce that. Tony's, which is good. I like that one. But I can send you like the listing, Aiden, if you want. It's a mix of salmiakki and like fruit menthols, so you might not like it. It is very like it is a very specific flavor profile. But I do like salmiakki. You guys knew that already, but it is definitely an acquired taste. Oh, I don't like Chips Ahoy. The texture is atrocious. I'm glad that you like them. I want this. I want this. That fucking autocorrect. Eat my ass. No, I didn't mean that. I meant the word that I typed. There it is. So it's like a snow leopard brand. Oh, gotcha, Tens. I just figured that like their CEO was gross or something because that's happened too. It's this, Aiden. So this has their little like paw print shapes, which A plus, we love that. And then there are 4 fruit flavors that are fruit menthol, and then there's 2 salmiakki flavors that are smaller. And this is Finnish candy. Calabrese is Finnish, in case I didn't say that. I don't remember if I did or not. Me sending you this listing, Aiden, isn't going to do anything because it's on the American Amazon, but I will send you this screenshot and then you can probably find it. And they're called wine gums in the listing, but I don't understand what a wine gum is. Honestly, I think that's a UK thing mostly. And it's just like gummy candies. I don't know. I'm not smart enough for that. But here, I'll send this to you before I forget, Aiden. Because I will forget. Yeah, okay. But why wine gummies? Did they used to be made with wine? Was that like the original flavor? But there, I sent you the photo and then like the listing title, Aiden. What am I doing? I don't know. I'm not focused today. Can you guys tell? Interesting. I hate that it does the double single A. That's not what it says in the actual thing that I wrote. It's making it look like I don't know how to type, and I do. I do know how to type sometimes. Needs more pink. That needs more pink. Ooh, okay, I will look after I pull that back up. There we go, that's better. Oh, that's just gummy candy. Okay. Cool. Now I know. Ooh, affirmation card. Where are my affirmation cards? That's another excellent question, Katie. That's not them. That's not them. Where did I put them? We haven't pulled an affirmation card in a while. Are they up here? I wish that I was not such a disorganized disaster, but I am. 'Tis the way. 'Tis the way of things. Are they up here? Ooh, I love black jelly beans. We do not have jelly babies, but we are aware, well, I am aware of what jelly babies are. Because Doctor Who, but you know. I thought it was up here. But it isn't. Where did I put it? I have my dice over here. That does nothing for us. Although I do actually need to... We've got a tie going in the color and focus for next month, so I'm going to need to do a die roll. Okay, Stack, you can just fall over. Where did I put those? They should be around here somewhere. There they are. They're behind my laptop. Here we go. I knew they were around here somewhere, but we haven't used them a lot lately. I don't know, that's probably similar to how I eat Peeps, honestly. Because I have a very specific order in which I eat a Peep. These cards are still, like, very stiff. Okay. Okay, Water Boy, I'm gonna ask you to pick right or left. They're French? Who's French? Jelly babies? The babies are French? Left. Make time for meaningful contemplation. You gotta think about stuff. Just gotta think really hard. That's the trick. Oh, I see, Aiden. Got it. Yeah, I do that too, Tens. I like them getting really stale. Because if you get them stale to a point, it's basically like eating styrofoam. That's also how I feel about prepackaged meringues that you can get, like the little meringue cookies. That's like eating prepackaged drywall. And I like it. I like the weird textures. I also used to eat straws as a kid. Again, why did nobody realize this bitch's brain is weird? Like, honestly. Okay, we're gonna leave this guy up here for a bit so that we can contemplate. Because that's what it told us to do. I could put my pencil back in here, actually. I did actually eat a couple pieces. I mostly just chewed on them. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those were good for chewing on. My mom got some because she wanted to do like candy making or something, and then she never got around to it. Again, this is a sign of the undiagnosed ADHD that runs in my family. And so I ended up just taking the package and chewing on them all the time. Yeah, see, so I grew up when ADHD was the boy disease. And we've discussed that on stream before. But like my brother was looked into for it and I wasn't. Although I don't know about all that. But both, how do I put this in a way that doesn't sound evil? My mom and I struggled with a lot of the same things. And so when I would come to my mom saying that I was struggling with something, she would go, well, everybody struggles with that. That's not true. No, not everybody struggles with brushing their teeth or remembering to shower. Like, that isn't a thing that most people have to deal with. That was a thing that my mom and I had to deal with, but that's because our brains are weird. Like, so, yeah. Yeah. Just like, But like looking back, I'm just like, oh yeah, that would be a lot of the issue. And like, one of the things I've thought about with this a lot is that ADHD has a lot of dopamine seeking behaviors, right? Because your brain doesn't make enough of it on its own. So like if you can't use homemade, store-bought is fine, kind of a situation, but you end up self-medicating with a lot of stuff to try and get enough dopamine in your brain, which means that you can be an alcoholic without technically being an alcoholic because the alcohol gives you dopamine. For those not in the know, my mother drank herself to death. Like her alcoholism ended up killing her. And that was part of the reason why I stopped drinking entirely. And like, so part of that is dopamine seeking behavior. And part of that is self medicating when you're uncomfortable and aren't allowed to like actually make your environment suit you, which was also an issue. So I don't know. I think if either of us had been diagnosed younger, like if I'd gotten diagnosed, she probably would have realized a lot of that in herself. And things might have turned out different. And I think about that a lot. But like, I don't know. There's a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I don't want to label my kid. I don't want them to grow up with the stigma." I'm like, it's not a stigma that's the issue. That's a cultural issue that you can start working on. But like the real issue is if you don't tell your kid why they feel like this all the time, they're just going to grow up thinking that they're wrong and they don't belong here. You know? Which, as previously mentioned, I have some issues with. Like, not giving your kid a label doesn't fix the actual issue. It just makes them feel like they're broken. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I was already labeled those things. Like, I was already the weird kid at school. I was bullied a lot. Like, people would make fun of me and like pick on me and everything. Yeah, and my grades were always really bad. I was always the pleasure to have in class person because I never remembered to do my homework. And like I couldn't make myself do my homework, which again, somebody get this bitch diagnosed, please. um, but yeah, so I talk about this a lot. I graduated high school with a 1.9 GPA. That's like a D average. And I managed to get into college with that GPA, and then I was a great student because I had more control over my environment. Um, oh yeah, that's rough, Felds. It's just, I don't know. Like I can understand not wanting to other your child, but you're the one with that feeling that it's othering them, not the kid, you know? Hi, Shani. Yeah, I had a whole thing in elementary school where because I wasn't doing my homework and because I was avoiding getting in trouble, I would take and hide the reports that my parents were getting from my teachers in the mail. Um, where my parents and my teachers had to both sign off that I had done all my homework, and I still didn't do it. Like, it just filled me with a level of shame that I couldn't get past because I didn't know what the problem was. Like, I didn't know why I couldn't do it, but I really couldn't. For sure, Shawnee. Oh yeah, I'm sure Felds. Like, unfortunately, even places where there do be healthcare, it's still an overtaxed system. But yeah, I don't know. Just many things on the brain lately. Yeah, I always have too many things on my brain lately. I've been working on meditating and mindfulness the past couple weeks because related to these issues and also some other things that I've been working on that I'm not going to talk about on stream. Um, and like a lot of times they tell you to like view your thoughts as like a road or like a highway or something. and to imagine your thoughts going past. And I'm like, do people's thoughts, and I know the answer to this, do people's thoughts really just like stay on the same track? So they can actually like imagine that? Because I definitely, that's not how my thoughts work. I have like 35,000 things pinging around all at once. Like, oh, you're fine, Shawnee. Like, you know I always like seeing you, but you're also allowed to not be here. That's okay. And I'm sorry you're having a rough brain day. I know that you've been having a bit of a time lately. But like, okay. So a lot of the visualizations that they have suggested that I use, I just got like a deal on Headspace, which I've used before and I liked well enough. So I just got that because I had the deal and like I'm gonna need it when I go traveling. But a lot of the visualizations they have just like does not work for me. Oh yeah, same water boy. I'm really bad about that too. I've been trying really hard to like be better about that. And part of it is there's this silly Tumblr post that says that there's a statute of limitations on crimes, which means that you have a statute of limitations for bad thoughts too. So if you're thinking about something and cringing from something over 10 years ago or whatever, the statute of limitations was passed on that. And you actually don't need to worry about it anymore. I think that's funny and helpful. But like the meditation stuff, because I know when I go to any sort of therapist, they're going to be like, did you try meditation? I'm like, yes, I've been meditating since I was 15. It doesn't fix anything. Like, it helps with some situations, but it's not like, it doesn't fix the chemical imbalance in my brain, right? Like, we get that. But, oh, that sucks, Aiden. Okay, good, Shani. Just making sure you aren't, like, guilting yourself about it. But the way I've started imagining this, so they've suggested like thoughts going along a road. This, I should clip this, like I should highlight this and show this too. Just me trying to think of a thought for like 3 years. I'm just adding a marker. That just says ADHD symptom. The mindfulness, one of the things they suggested, like I said, is a road with your thoughts as the car is going by, and like sometimes the road is busy and sometimes the road isn't busy. And that doesn't work for me because everything is like still going the same direction, and that's not how my brain feels. My brain feels like a bunch of things pinging around all over the place all the time. So like I can be focusing on counting my breaths and where my breath is, and the back end of my head will still be thinking thoughts. Like just focusing on one thing is not something that I'm capable of doing all the time. Like it takes real effort. And so what I've started doing instead of that is imagining an ocean, like where I grew up in Oregon, so like a cold ocean that is like really windy and loud. And I imagine all my thoughts as little shells and various things on a beach. And then I imagine the wave coming in and then taking all the thoughts out with it so that I let go of the thoughts and let them go into the ocean. And like that might not work for everybody. It works for me because I like grew up next to the ocean a lot, and so I think about that a lot, and I can like hear the sound and the smell in my head. And so I don't know. I've been working on that, and that helps a lot more because I'm thinking of a visual and the smell in addition to thinking of letting my thoughts go. So it like balances out the level of thought that I need in order to feel like I'm focusing on something. I don't know. That probably like isn't quote unquote the right way to do this, but my brain also isn't quote unquote right. So it works. But I think when I go to visit my grandma, I'm gonna have to like have somebody take me to the beach so that I can just like record the ocean and have that going sometimes. I think that will help. Okay, I got my thought out. Let me catch up on chat. I was like trying so hard to get that thought out before I lost it. Um, oh, the fucked up because you couldn't work felds. I feel that. And yeah, same with description of executive function. For sure. Yeah, water boy. I think part of it is, um, for me at least, holding on to those thoughts. Part of it is just you got to get a fuck it mentality at a certain point. And I think part of that is just because I've gotten older, so I've gotten to a point where I've seen enough shit that I'm like, whatever. But like, you can say, well, if somebody else did this, would I be treating them this way? Would I be holding on to this thought? Would I be berating them for this far into the future? And the answer is usually no. And if the answer is yes, then perhaps you shouldn't have that person in your life anymore. Um, but I think one of the things is treating yourself as separate sometimes. So, like, trying to get an outside perspective on it helps a lot for me. Um, and just, you have to approach yourself with kindness, which sounds simple and really isn't. It takes a lot of work. But just like, so I started a long time ago doing a little, I don't know, an affirmation in the mirror a lot. And I still have to work on this because I still have issues seeing myself. But just looking at yourself and going, I'm a person. This is a true statement, you know? And eventually you can work yourself slowly up to, I'm a person who deserves forgiveness. I'm a person who deserves love. I'm a person who doesn't deserve to be beaten up over something simple. And you kind of got to boil the frog yourself a little bit. So you work at something that is a true, straightforward statement that anybody can agree with, right? So you're a person. Yep. Even on the days that you maybe don't feel like a people, you know? And yeah, you do have to like kind of work yourself up to it. So just adding little things to the statement. So I'm a person, there are people who love me. This is a statement that I know to be true. And that's easier to recognize around you once you say that to yourself repeatedly. And then you can just kind of like work your way up. If I'm a person and other people love me, then I must be deserving of love because somebody has decided that, right? And eventually you can logic yourself all the way to the end point of saying that you're a person who deserves love and forgiveness, even from yourself. And you got to kind of, it feels a little bit like gaslighting yourself, not going to lie, but like really what you're doing is just working yourself up to the reality where other people see you, right? So I have not had to convince other people that I'm worthy of love. They decided that on their own, right? Because of how I am and how I interact with the world. But I needed to convince myself of that. And it's a lot of work, man. I've been working on this for like a decade and I'm still not all the way there. You know, but you gotta work on it. Yeah, same, Shawnee. I also have self-image issues, which is part of the reason why I started this. Was because when I looked at myself in a mirror, I got really bad in the head. There was a long time where I never turned on the light in the bathroom so that I wouldn't have to see myself in the mirror. And now we're to the point where I get paid to be nude in front of a bunch of strangers, and I'm fine most days. You know? So, like, it's a process. It really is. But, yeah. And sometimes you just gotta look yourself in the eyes and see how dead you feel and go, God, this person deserves help. Right? Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. It's like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But it's worth it. You're worth it. Oh, indeed, Shawnee. Indeed. So true. Right, guys, I know we're in the middle of like an intense conversation here, but I really have to pee. So I'm gonna take a quick break and run some ads, and then we can come back and continue talking about our little self-love journeys, huh? So I'll be right back. Oh, I guess I should remind you, also take care of yourself during the break. Don't let capitalism win. We hate capitalism here. So don't watch the ads. I still get the money from the ads if you don't look at them. You just need to have the window open, okay? So you should get up and go get a stretch or get yourself a little treat or snack or go and look at something farther away from you than your screen because that's good for your little eyeballs and we care about your little eyeballs. I will do that, Shawnee. Thank you. Um, and then we can meet back here and continue talking about our little self-love journeys, okay? I want you to know I was sat back down for that comment, Tens, and I immediately started laughing. Because so true, bestie. I'm back. You might be back too. I hope everybody got like a little stretch or whatever they needed, you know? Man, I have not made a lot of progress on this today. We've been chatty, which is fine. I mean, this is technically for this month's color, but I can finish it like tomorrow or something too. It's not a big deal. Although I am going to feel like poop tomorrow, so we'll see how much I actually get done. I have like a lot. I have a lot of stuff to do all the time, and I actually took yesterday off. Like I didn't do any work. I'm getting a bunch of vaccines all at once. So, and my body likes to be really dramatic about getting stabbed. Well, not really the stab. My immune system just like overreacts to everything all the time. Um, but I'm traveling after Christmas, well, on Christmas technically, um, to visit my elderly grandmother and my aunt who is going through chemo. So, getting the vaccines is the right call for sure, even if I will feel crummy. I do have one more model session next week, and then we're freezies until the next semester. Um, this shouldn't affect us at all, but I will say it anyway. Yeah, yeah, my immune system is like really dramatic all the time, and it has been since I was a kid, actually. So, like, I got bullied a lot. We talked about that. Um, my mom's rules were you weren't allowed to stay home from school unless you had a fever, were throwing up, or had a bone broken. That was generally the rules. And you know what my body decided to do to be dramatic to get me out of school? Two of those things. Um, so my stress responses are almost always an upset stomach to the point of vomiting and um, a fever. And my body has always done this and never stopped. And in addition to that, I also think I probably have a histamine intolerance because, like, especially after exercise or something, I get like really intense flu-like symptoms. I also get flu-like symptoms before pretty much every single one of my periods, and estrogen is a hormone releaser. So, yeah, or a histamine releaser. Sorry, wrong word. But yeah, indeed it does, and it's awful, and I hate it. I am going to have to, when I go in to start the hysterectomy process, I'm going to have to tell the doctor there that like I've been peer diagnosed as having hypermobility, which might make some of the surgery stuff more difficult, especially depending on how they decide to suture stuff. So I'm going to need to do that, even though I'm a little nervous about not being taken seriously. I don't know. We'll see. If I just say it like it's an established thing, they probably won't argue with me. That's my guess. But we'll see. Yeah, exactly. Like I am going to say it, but I am nervous about it too. Oh, interesting. Mhm. Yeah, unfortunately, I have really shitty health insurance. So, I say that I have like state health insurance. So getting things covered is not always, and getting things tested is not always an option, unfortunately. Um, but for some of the stuff, I've been trying to push it a little bit more. We'll see. Hopefully I can actually get various diagnoses that will make my life easier overall. Yeah. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I tend to, this is just kind of more of a personal thing, I think, but I tend to not trust those companies that are for profit and want my DNA. Um, because that means that I'm the data and I don't like it. Not that I think that like I don't know. There's been a number of situations where like what are those called? Like the family DNA genealogy tests have been used to put people in prison. Um which is not great. It's not a good look. Um, I've sent my DNA to one thing when I was a lot younger, and it was specifically National Geographic. Um, did a haplogroup DNA test, which basically traces your mitochondrial DNA out of Africa, um, just to show you what kind of path your ancestors likely took out of Africa, which was interesting. Um, yeah, fair water boy. But I don't know. I'm suspicious of those things. Yeah, yeah. I do think that I've been pretty lucky to have mostly good doctors up here. There is the issue with me trying to get sterilized since I was like 19, and not being allowed to is not exactly the right phrasing, but being encouraged not to. We're working on that one though. So, but for the most part, I've had doctors who actually like looked at stuff. I do actually. This is another one in the maybe ADHD file. I do have a bladder disorder that is diagnosed, which bladder and bowel disorders are increasingly common with people who have ADHD and autism. There's a lot of overlap. Same with hypermobility. Those are all often comorbid, which is just wild. Like, why does my body have to be broken in so many different ways? Can't you just pick one and stick with that? No. You have to cause so many problems all at once. Just like chill a little bit. You don't need to be this dramatic all the time. But I do think a lot of my issues at the moment will be solved by getting a hysterectomy, because like I really clearly have PMDD, which again comorbid with autism and ADHD, um, which makes it so much worse. And I only feel like I'm actually myself for like a week out of a month. It's absolutely wild. Maybe. That's actually a good point, Felds. Mm, I wouldn't agree with that. Um, so the way that we tend to think about natural selection is like some horrible thing that kills everybody, right? Um, Hi Bean, good to see you. I just knew in my heart. You want to see the other here? You can see the other quote unquote rubber ducky we did this month. But natural selection really just means that the people who are most able to breed the most. It doesn't necessarily mean that everybody dies. Um, and one of the big things about humanity as a whole, you've hit on one of my special interests here. So I say special interest. I have a degree in this. Um, but one of the things is that community has always been our greatest tool. So you can see from a long line of history that people. Oh, I thought my camera had frozen for a second. That people have taken care of other people with disabilities. Um, so all the way back to Neanderthals, and actually I have a tattoo on my chest of this specific dig site. But the Shanidar site showed us a really good representation of a community of Neanderthals who had somebody with birth defects who lived into adulthood, had somebody with a broken femur that was healed, um, previously, like they had been taken care of well enough to have them healed. And somebody else who had um, a brain, can we please make the words happen today, please? Um, that had a serious life-threatening brain injury, and we can see that in their cranium. And they all lived and healed until they were in a cave that crashed on all of them, and that's why we have all these bodies next to each other. Um, so I don't think that that's relevant exactly to humanity and humanoids in general. It's not that we're all going to be mentally ill and frail. I mean, a lot of us are that, but that isn't like some disaster for the species. That's the way that we have evolved, is to take care of each other. And that's part of the reason why when our babies are born, they're born half baked. They're born so that they literally have holes in their head where you can poke directly into their brain. Because we've created such a society and such a group of intellectuals and like people who can recognize patterns and stuff like that, that we know to take care of babies in those ways. So we've created a society in which we can actually birth a child who is not ready to take care of itself at all, because we trust that we will take care of each other, right? So I think that you can say, oh, well, the natural selection, we don't have enough plagues, blah, 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 whatever. But that isn't our reality. And that hasn't been the reality for humanity for a very long time. Exactly. It's not really relevant to modern humans, and it wasn't necessarily relevant to non-modern humans either, because we've been taking care of each other for a very long time. And that's how we also see, for instance, in the skeletal record, humans who didn't have teeth left and lived a significant portion of time after that because other people were helping take care of them, right? So it's like I can see where you're coming from, but I think that that's a short-sighted view of humanity. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's partly because we take care of each other, right? So we have all these scientific advances and stuff. So like diabetes used to be a complete like death sentence. Like you would not be able to live. And now we're working on, so we have insulin, we have all of this kind of stuff that lets people live longer with those diseases that might have been awful, you know, like 80 years ago. So I think that yes, infant mortality rates have changed, and that's a good thing. But I think that this is a case in a lot of things around this kind of topic where we don't realize how much we actually care for each other in both like an emotional way, but also like a very physical way. So like hospitals and stuff like that. That's huge. Exactly, Shani, exactly. So like we've taken natural selection into our own hands a little bit, especially with stuff like in vitro fertilization and stuff like that. We kind of have, as humanity, made natural selection our bitch. Which like good for us. Way to go. Good job, team. But like it's not, the pop culture reference of natural selection is not relevant to humanity, and actually isn't relevant to most of science because it's not the same thing. Yeah. Like it's totally possible that that could have taken us out, but I don't think that that's like a bad thing, you know? So the reason I'm going not this so hard, Waterboy, is because that is the natural selection and people being frail talking point is one that's frequently used by people in favor of eugenics, and people who would rather disabled people die. It was one that was pretty commonly used around the COVID epidemic as well. Um, so I'm going hard on that to specifically say that no, actually. And I know that's not how you meant it specifically, but I want to make sure to give that context to it. Oh, that's great, Bean. But it is a pretty common talking point for people who are icky, and I know that you aren't icky, just to be very clear on that. But it is something that gets brought up in a specific light a lot of times that is becoming more prevalent in our recent era. Oh yeah, for sure. I know you guys aren't doing that, but I'm going to use you as a little stepping stool to talk about my thing. Yeah, yeah. And sorry, I was mid rant. Beanie, I'm really excited to send you stuff too. I packaged that up this morning and I'll put it in the mailbox tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Waterboy. Matto! It's so good to see you. Can we get a shout out for Matto, please? Yeah, I think part of the thing I will go. Yeah, we're on the same page here, Waterboy, because we were talking about. Thank you. Matto is a great streamer and is also just a sweetheart and a cutie patootie, and you should follow Matto if you haven't. Um, yeah, I've been like on the soapbox today, hardcore, which is why I have not gotten much painting done, but that's fine. Uh, but what was I saying? Thank you, Brain, for just deleting the cache. Oh, passing genes down. That's what it was. Part of the reason I'm getting a hysterectomy is because I never want to curse another child with my genetics. I would not wish this on any other living being. So I definitely get that for sure. But also, I think there are other really important ways that we can pass down the things that we care about that don't involve genetics at all. And I think that's a big feature of humanity as a whole. Is that so like I have what I call my internet kiddos. Aiden is one of them, and I just adopt other younger people on the internet. And like not to toot my own horn, like I will, but I think that I've helped make a lot of spaces a lot more accepting and loving than they were before, and that's what my legacy is. I don't care about having kids. I want to be that like dropped rock in the pond and ripple out kindness to everyone. you know. Oh, you're a sweetheart though, Matto. And like I love kids. Like if you didn't know this about me, I my original career path was to be an elementary education teacher. Um and I love hanging out with kids. I love kids. I think they're great, but I just don't want to birth any. Like yeah, I don't think like yes, humans are very good at propagation. We have a lot of people and we have kind of like taken over an entire environment. Um but I don't think that's our greatest accomplishment. I think our greatest accomplishment is community and taking care of each other. So I focus on that instead of the genetic and children having aspect. But yeah, so same vibe. We're on the same page. I just use you to make a bigger point for a second there. I say a second as if I didn't just ramble for like 20 minutes. And yeah, I've always said I would much rather adopt a kid that was older and more at risk of not getting a home than birth my own kids. And part of that is just because pregnancy freaks me out. But also, I don't think it's necessary for me to do that to feel fulfilled as a human person. So, hmm yeah. Like, I do have a mothering urge. I think it's pretty obvious when I take care of people, but I don't view that as like just babies. I don't know. I can just take care of other people and get the same high from it. Yeah, and like honestly, Like, the way my country is going, I would not trust maternal health care in this country at all. And I'm in one of the fewer risk groups, you know, because I'm a white bitch. And we have a lot less complications for a lot of really complicated reasons. Um, but yeah, see, working with kids is great. I just couldn't deal with parents, is what it boiled down to. Because when you're a traumatized child, hello, I was traumatized as a child. In case you couldn't tell from me, just like using you all as my therapist constantly, um, you can really see that in other kids. And when you're not given recourse to be able to fix that, it's really difficult. Yeah, that's fair, Shawnee. I also like there's some people in my life who would want to be involved with a child that I would not want involved with my child. And like the easiest way to avoid all of that is to just not have children. Yeah, the so I did a lot of like we called it cadet teaching at my high school, which is where I got to work with kids in a classroom setting as like an assistant teacher a little bit. And I did a lot of camp counseling. And one of the things is that even if you don't meet parents, you can still sometimes see what effects their home life is having on them. Um, and it's not a fun time. Um, honestly, tens like real. Just like I should be allowed to treat my child as property. It's like no, actually, you shouldn't. Honestly, a lot of them do realize it. To be fair. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Just one of those things. Yeah, we're just kind of running the gambit on intense conversations today, aren't we? Yeah, there are so many states in the US where you can homeschool and like never have anybody check in on you, and that's horrifying. You can just go, you don't even need to say anything. You can just take your kid out of school and they'll assume that you're homeschooling them, and that's horrifying, honestly. The US is like one of the few places that doesn't have any rights for minors too, which is also horrifying. Oof. Yeah. No, no, go ahead, Meadow. You're good. Um, this is so I've been buying like the same kind of wrist strap for my watch off of Amazon for like a decade, and they always change makers because whoever did it ran out of business. Um, I have I'm scared. Roblox discourse, that scares me. That combination of words horrifies me. Um, but I usually just look for cloth rainbow watch band and find it. Um, no big secret. I don't know like anything about Roblox if I'm being honest. I know that my boyfriend's kid plays Roblox. That's pretty much it. Oh God. Helicopter parents are scary. I went to school with a bunch of kids who had helicopter parents and like, oh my goodness. Like that became a term that we actually like saw and used in textbooks when I was in college. And it's like wild. think my issue with the earlier ones was that I was using too much blue. So it felt too dark. Oh my gosh. That's wild. Yeah, no problem, Matto. I can actually, let me see if I can pull up the last listing I bought it from. Because every time I buy them, I buy like a bunch of them. And I can just, it won't help you because you're in the UK, but I can at least send you a link.
Now, here comes the music.
For college? What? No, don't do that. Holy shit. That's wild to me. Yeah, like that's, they sure do try some of them though. Yeah. My dad works college administration. So I have heard some really fun stories. College age here is like 18 and up, generally speaking. Um, I technically would have been 18 if I went to college on time, but you know, yeah. But I was an August baby, so yeah. Man, this brush holds onto way too much pigment. You're muddying my colors, bro. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah. I mean, I do work at a college, but that's like a temporary position and part-time, so it's like not even remotely the same. And I'm not in charge of anybody. I'm just there to be naked. Uh, for those who don't know, I work as a nude model at for art classes at the college that's next to me. Um, I don't know. Like parents really do think that they just should be allowed to control everything that somebody ever knows, and like, no, actually, that's not how life works. I enjoy it, and I encourage other people to do it, honestly. They always need more people. Because especially in the US, apparently, there's one of the art teachers is British and enjoys talking about how different the vibe is getting models in the US versus the UK. Because apparently people in the UK are like way more nervous about being, or like in the US are way more nervous about being naked. So, because he did modeling back in the UK when he was going to school and stuff. But they definitely have had a lot of trouble keeping people in the job here. So, well, I didn't get to work it with him at all this semester. He's the one who always makes me tea when I go into model. Yeah, and just like the culture for sure. One of the reasons specifically that I applied to this job is because I'm fat. And generally speaking, the people who are most comfortable being naked in front of other people are a very specific kind of body type that we have decided is the correct kind of body type to have, which is not what I have. Um, yeah, yeah, Puritans. Yep. That's exactly what he goes on too. That's his spiel. But so I'm like, I don't know. I call myself this. This is not what anybody else is called, but I'm like the diversity hire. One per person, but so enter once, and if you are subscribed, you get an extra entry. And if you're a mod, I think I made it so you get an extra entry too, because I think most of my mods deserve little treats, and oftentimes they will just go, actually, you should give it to somebody else. I guess I did say we would pull that in an hour, and it's been over an hour, hasn't it? So if you guys have not entered, you should enter the giveaway before I close it, okay? Well, we'll give a few more minutes. We'll see how long until I forget that I've said this, because that's the theme of the stream today. It's just me forgoing. And I will ship anywhere. If you're in Canada, you might have to wait a little extra because of the strike, but yeah, it's taken me a while, Waterboy. For sure. I will say that since I started modeling, I'm in two great relationships, although one of them had dealt with me before that. Um, but I don't know. There's just something that hits different about sending Renaissance level nudes to somebody, you know? Um, but I do think that it's been good for like body neutrality. I don't use the term body positivity because I think that's fake and gross. I use body neutrality because I don't need to be positive about my body. I need to just like let myself exist, you know? But it has been good for that because um, I just can see myself as shapes now versus like nitpicking all of the pieces of me that society says shouldn't be the way that they are. Which is, yeah. Yeah, Shawnee, for sure. Okay. I want to at least get the last layer, or the first layer down on all of these buttons for surezies. I think getting the ducky buttons painted before I end today is also pretty achievable. I might work on the buttons some more off stream just so that I can get this finished before the end of the month, which is tomorrow. What the fuck? And then we can move on to the next color for next month. I also have solidified a design for the January sticker, which we will be working on, I think next week probably, because I want to get that done and printed so that I can get the post scheduled for it for January, since I'll be out of town at the start of January when I would normally post it. I think I mentioned this already. I have a tie on the color and focus for next month, the poll. So if anybody wanted to like swoop in and vote one way or another, you might break a tie. All of my patrons get to vote on what color I'm focusing on for the next month. And tiers start at $1, so it's very affordable. So you could leap in and save my life. If you wanted to, you could also join the sticker club tier and get a sticker delivered to your home or wherever else you receive mail. This is the one for this month. And then next month you actually get two stickers. You get We painted this one on stream, but you get a little fruitcake slice with a mug. And then you also get a bonus little mini sticker of the same sticker that you can foist upon somebody else in great holiday fashion. You can foist upon them a slice of fruitcake. So that's also a possibility if you wanted to do that. That's $5 a month if you wanted to join. Yeah, I think that it is time to draw a winner. So I'm going to close the poll, which means you guys have approximately 3 seconds until I open the tab and close it. Okay, close entries. Did you hear me? Listen, please. Or you could just open it again and not listen to me correctly. That's fine. I love that for me. My computer is so freaking slow. Okay, we're gonna pick a winner. Boop boop. Tens! You get a sticker. So you can pick whatever sticker you want from my shop, and I will mail it to you. So whatever single sticker you want, there is a category that just says single sticker that you can look through. And I will mail that to you. And if you pick today, I will mail it out with all my other stuff tomorrow. But if you want some time to think on it, that is also allowed. And if you want to put in, this is not a demand, this is an offer. If you want to use also the coupon code and put in an order through my shop to get more than that, I'll just send it all together so you can actually like keep track of where it's going. If I send out stickers for giveaways, I just do it in first class letter mail. But with the stuff through my shop, you get tracking info. So. Yep. I always say that, and like the first time I said it, I felt like such a dick saying it because it's like, oh yeah, you should definitely make an order. It's like that's not what I'm even saying. Like my brain is just being mean to me. It's fine. Another one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, the way that if somebody else said that, I would think that it's fine, but because I said it, I think it's illegal. And no, we're not playing that game. Stop it. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about these buttons, honestly. Like, they're fine, but they also aren't done yet, so I need to, like, not be mean about it yet. So, sorry, buddy. I need to move you. You're in the way. Yeah, not gonna lie, sorry, Bean. I'm kind of glad you didn't win that because I would have needed to reopen the package that I just packaged this morning to add another one in for you. Sorry about it. Because I really did just package that this morning. But that and my sticker club stickers are going out tomorrow, which I need to remember to warn my brother of that. Ooh, that's what else I need to do today. I need to submit my timesheet. I almost forgot. Right, Shawnee? That does really feel like today, honestly. I don't know. My days are all out of whack this week. I mean, I say that as if my days are ever in whack, but there are levels. But my schedule has been like really weird this week and last week. Like things keep getting moved around and it messes with my brain. Mm. Yeah, I just got my journal set up for next year, basically, because I have like exactly the right amount of pages, I think. We'll see if this is real or if I made it up. To go through the current journal that I have until I come back from visiting the lower 48. Um, and then I can start in a brand new fresh journal and leave all that hard stuff behind me. I don't know. I didn't I'm gonna be a little sad for a second. Um, but because my mom, in her infinite wisdom, decided to die on the 1st of January, um, New Year's kind of sucks. Because it makes me think about that. Um, and like she was in the hospital and in ICU like through Christmas. And so like, I don't know. The big like, oh yes, we can leave all the bad stuff in the past and move on into a new year. It's like, no, actually. Oh yeah, I really like Olipop. I was drinking the ginger ale today. This is actually empty, so I can full on tilt the can for you now. I like the ginger ale. It's good. I really like their vintage cola and the Dr. Pepper knockoff. They do not taste like cola or Dr. Pepper to me, but they do taste good. The vintage cola really has like a molassesy kind of what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like a gingerbread quality to it because it's using like the dark cane sugar. Yeah, I'm not sponsored, but I could be. Like, hit me up, Olipop. Right? Exactly, Waterboy. Because we all need more fiber. That's just a fact. I'm not talking about moral fiber. We have plenty of that. But yeah, they're good. And I can get them through like Amazon, which is nice. Which like I know. But I live in Alaska and shipping sucks. And I am screwing Amazon out the ass every single year with my Prime subscription, getting no shipping costs. I am always making them pay more than I pay. Ah, good tense. But like we aren't even I think I'm 4 months into my subscription year with them and I've already saved more money than I spent. So hashtag just Alaska things. Yeah, it sucks, honestly. Like we kind of made jokes that mom couldn't even let us leave it in the old year, but like I never really did New Year's resolutions in the same way as most other people. I do a commitment to improving something about myself. So like one year I want to play more indie games. So I played more indie games and I've continued doing that. Um, year before it was like year before this year was reading more books, which I did and I've continued to do. This year was taking more photos of myself, which I have done. It's going to be really hard to pick what photo I want to do for my year in review artist little post thing. Um, it also helps that I'm now dating two people long distance who actually want to see my face. That also helps a little bit. but but yeah, I don't know what this year is going to be. I think maybe we're going to keep working on boundaries. Oh, I will call you out, water boy. I'll call all of us out. Because I will say, like, there's a large portion of my life where I don't have, like, any photos of myself, and it's actually kind of shitty to not be able to look back at stuff. You should take more photos of yourself, even if you don't show them to anybody, just for yourself, for your own little personal calendar. Because, like, going back and looking at yourself is also cool. And generally speaking, we're a lot kinder to our past self than we are our current self. So start being kind to your current self by making it so that your future self can look at your past self. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know, Tens. This just kind of happened. Was I aiming for this? Maybe a little bit, but I didn't expect it to actually work, especially with Cap, honestly. Um, Grim, like, was already into me, and we've dated before and are now dating again. But hey, Greyborn, good to see you. It's been a while. It goes. We're making some little duckies and some button bubbles at the moment. But yeah, I had already decided to take more photos of myself, and then I ended up dating two people, and I was like, oh, well, this is easy mode. Okay. Yeah! I've tried to be better about posting over there. Thank you for the follow, too. Yeah, we love Cap. I love Cap most, but the rest of you can love Cap, too. Yeah, for surezies. I have been getting it. It's real. Yeah, we love Cap. Cap is great. It is not a competition, but I am still winning, and I stay winning, honestly. Oh, the Cap command. So the person who made my PNG tuber and the command that just went up in chat, which is up here. Do I know how to move my finger? This guy. That's him. Boop boop. And one of my mods who I think is probably lurking at the moment. But D Grim, who would have been I dated Grim for a while back in the Jick era, and they popped into Jick's stream occasionally. So you might recognize that username a little bit. Yeah, I for a long time I like classified my life in eras of whoever I was dating, but I didn't date people for a long time, so we've got the Jick era in the middle there. God, this paintbrush. I might just throw this paintbrush away, honestly, because it keeps holding on to pigments and ruining my colors. I'm gonna forget why I set that over there. Yeah. Because for a while we had the Katie era too, which was my best friend at the time was named Katie and decided that the era should be named after her. Um, we aren't friends anymore. But you know. So it started out with people who I was dating, and then it ended up being like friend names. So just, a couple silly little hee hee ha ha's. Yeah, that's a good place to be. Okay, we have done the first layer on all the buttons. I also am I'm flagging a bit. Can you guys tell that my energy is dipping? Because I can tell. Um, I do want to get the beaks and stuff in, and probably the eyes, and then maybe I'll end stream because I want to go eat leftovers. Honestly, my brother just put some in the microwave, and now I want to eat. Let's just get like our base colors in here. I will hydrate. Thank you, stars. Yeah, I don't know. We've talked about this on stream before, but I was flirting with Cap like a lot all the time and was being very vocal about that's what I was doing, including to other people. So there was a situation where I was talking about in vaguish terms that there was somebody that I've been flirting with a lot and I should probably check in with them and make sure that I wasn't like being too much or making them uncomfortable or anything. And then Cap came in and I was like, "Oh, I was just talking about you." It's like, "Oh, just outed yourself completely there. Good work." But ended up fine. We're dating now. We have been for like 6 months. Oh yeah, you know what I'm like, Greyborn. You've seen me. Yeah, Stars is also a really cool streamer that you guys should hang out with. Yeah. Okay, I think just doing kind of like an orange tinged gray for the eyes will probably be good, which reads as kind of like brown, but yeah, I think that's fine. It won't feel as dark as the line art. I will take another sippy, thank you. First, I'll fill in these eyeballs. I probably could do some more shading on the ducks right now, which would probably make my life a little easier. I don't know how I want to do the buttons continuing on from here, actually. Yeah, I mean, I did long distance before too. Before I was, streaming or on Twitch for that matter, because I moved away from my high school boyfriend when we moved to Alaska. So, okay, another sippy for water boy. Yeah, Bean is also in a long distance relationship. Um, yeah, I think it just if you find the right person, it works out fine. Cap, we were just talking about you. Were your ears burning? Hello. Yeah, yeah. It's not like I talk about you constantly all the time or anything. No, it's fine. Yeah, welcome to Cap Fan Hour. This is Cap. So Greyborn, this is the person that I'm dating. Greyborn is from Jix Community Cap, who you've heard about. Um, we found each other on Blue Sky again. Yep. For sure, Bean. For sure. Is is Nerdling there too? Do I get to say hi to Nerdling? Hi, Nerdling. We've talked about a lot of really like deep, in-depth conversations today. Like we were all over the map today. Um, you'd have to ask Cap about that. That's up to him. But I do think that I want to shade the ducks a little bit, just because if I get that done, that's like the hard part, quote unquote. And then I can just mess with the buttons a little bit off stream, I think. Because I do need to like get this done today, but I don't think I want to do it all streaming. Just because, I don't know, I don't get as much work done when I'm streaming because I'm talking a lot. I'm sure you guys haven't noticed how much I talk. Like some days I'm not super talkative, but today has been a chatty day. Oh, did you get your fishies? Fishies, fishies. Yay, nice. What kind did you get? I need all the deets. Well, all the deets you're willing to share in a Twitch chat, I guess. Not that you can really dox yourself with fish, I don't think, but I don't know, maybe somebody has. Do you think I'm probably going to end up using a little orange to deepen up some of the shadows, but for now we can just do like a little yellow just to give them a little bit of more stuff. Oh, cute! Love it. Yeah, so me too, tens, honestly. And that was a problem for me for a long time. My solution to that was to just be really vocal about it, and then the people who are into it will, stop by and hang out, and the people who aren't into it will tell you to fuck off. I mean, like, I've always been a flirt. That's a thing. Like, I flirt with my friends, and sometimes I mean it, and sometimes I don't. So when I really mean it, I say so. I see, I see. Good to know. Oh, good. That's great. I mostly have not flirted with you, Shawnee. Just in case you were wondering, I have not, because I've mostly been working on making you feel better about yourself. Yeah, see, I'm like very flirty in general, but once I mean it for realsies, I get nervous. And then I start fumbling. Oh, also, you guys, it's Rainbow's birthday today. Rainbow's birthday today. I made her some art, actually. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. If you don't follow Rainbow, I would suggest following Rainbow because I love her. She's great. Ah, good, good. But I should post the art that I made for her. I posted it in her Discord, but I should post it publicly. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Or maybe I'll just respond to her Blue Sky so that it's not like a separate thing. I try not to post on social media like a huge amount, just because I don't want to. But also, I feel like if I post a bunch of stuff on one day, it's kind of annoying. That's a good idea, Bean. I might. The sticker confetti honestly hasn't sold as well as I was expecting it to based on the excitement that other people had for it. Um, which is kind of unfortunate. So I might not add new designs for a while just because it's a lot of work. Yeah, that's really the queer problem is all of my friends are hot and we're flirting and it's not super serious, but if it was serious, it could be serious. You know what I mean? Like, I'm only joking unless you don't want me to be joking. Yeah, good. I probably should just do another like reel or something just to like remind people that it exists. But I don't know. I mean, social media exhausts me and I'm really bad about like continually pimping myself out there, so to speak. It just gets exhausting. Yeah, exactly, Cap. I don't, is the answer. Like, I'll post stuff when I have something to say, which is not super often, honestly. Or like I post when I'm going live or something because that's something to say, you know. But I definitely am not good at the like coming up with some random thing based on the meme of the hour and posting it. I just Oh, cool. Thanks, Stars. You help all the time because you're my #1 reposter, honestly. You're always very good about that and I appreciate it. And you also, like, when I sent you stuff, made a thing all on your own, which was very helpful. Okay, we've got at least, like, the base shading down for that. Oh yeah, I tagged you in something, Shawnee, which I'm guessing you just haven't seen. It's a lot, Stars, so don't try to think about it as like a little thing. That's huge. Huge. You and Carmen actually are the two besties in that regard. Man, I really need to wash my brush wipe again. Look at how filthy this thing is. Look at it. We've been using this for a while. Okay, good, Shani. So like I've been using the same side for a while. You guys ready to see its butt? Look at how much cleaner that is. Like it's dyed from having used it before, but a little bit of a difference there. You don't want to see my dirty butt? Come on. What's the point then? I did get a piece of something on there. Go away. Okay, let's add a little bit of orange here. Let's see what I think. I don't think I want to do this like super complicated, honestly, because like one, I'm doing a million of them. Two, it's gonna be a washi tape, so nobody cares. Hi, Nerdling! I said hi to you earlier, but you weren't there. I got overexcited. Congratulations on your fishies. I'm glad you like them, Bean. I'm hopefully going to make this into a washi tape pattern. Man, I was going to say something else, but I probably should wait for the Canada Post to stop, huh? So that I don't hype things up too much. Yeah, I really like the idea of washi tape and I use them a lot and they're so cute. And I thought this one would be cute because this is, so if you guys haven't played Sticky Business, you should because it's incredible. But you can make designs in that, and one of the DLCs basically was like washi tape and stationery and stuff like that. So I made something similar to this in Sticky Business, which is part of the reason why I decided to do this design. The bubbles were not buttons in that, but same like general concept. And this is actually the second time that I've used a design in Sticky Business as inspo for a sticker design. Ugh. I think I have, yeah. Here's Rattholomew. Rattholomew is the other one. I also did a design similar to this in Sticky Business, which is a lot simpler, right? Because you're just slapping together pre-made like shapes and stuff, but yeah. So this is the second time I've done this. It's really fun. I enjoy it. I guess technically the capybara also. I made a capybara one in Sticky Business too. That was cap. Um, which, if you guys haven't seen them, I will show you these. Yeah! All good. No worries. I'm happy to get an order whenever I get one. But I made a set of stickers based on me and my partners. So I'm the goatmeal scotchy. Grim is banana bread. And then Cap is the Kappa barista. Um, and I actually made one, like, I called it a Cappy Family was the name of the sticker I did in Sticky Business. But I had Cap with, like, a capybara with, like, a smaller capybara with him, which was Nerdling. And then Cap had like a paintbrush and a cup of coffee. And I think I gave Nerdling like a little video game console. so, so that was partially inspired by that. Actually, this whole set was. But you can get a pack of all three of those in my shop, by the way, just in case anybody was wondering. They're really cute. You could own me and my partners. How great would that be? But yeah, Sticky Business, good game. Recommend. There are still some achievements that I need to finish in that actually from the DLC. Yep, you'll notice that the directions they're facing are made so that you can have them both kiss me. Just throwing that out there. I know what I'm doing. Ooh, way too much water. Calm down. Okay, and this guy. I still need to decide what I'm doing for these buttons. I haven't really landed on anything yet while I've been sitting here. I may need to just sit and stare at it in silence for a while. But I think the way they are now is fine. And if I just shade them and then add some white ink on top, maybe, then I think that's mostly it. I do need to still shade the beaks and darken up the eyeballs, which we can just do the eyeballs while we're sitting here. That'll be fine. Yeah, a lot of art is really just staring at it and waiting for it to tell you what to do. And sometimes it'll tell you, and sometimes you need to like drag yourself around like an angry toddler until you decide what you're doing. I do want to deepen up these eyes a bit. I actually should probably be using a smaller brush for this. You're not a smaller brush. Where's that one that I like? There you are. You were hiding. So I'm basically just using like a warm gray with a little bit of extra orange in it for the eyes, so that like it does read as black, but it isn't actually black. And it stays in the same like warm palette as the rest of the duck. Little duckies. Oh, did you guys want to see a sneak preview of the sticker design? Some people have already seen it, but I did mention that I had decided on the sticker design for January that I need to get out. But I'll show you guys because I actually brought my iPad out today because I remembered, and I also thought I might want to pull up the reference for the buttons, but doop doop doop. So it says shed was what isn't serving you instead of eating yourself alive. And it's kind of like a play on the whatchamacallit, the Ouroboros. Is that, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Um, but I also like the colors are just kind of, this is like slapdash just so that I remember what color patterns I want to use. But the shed skin is the color pattern of a very venomous snake, and the actual body is of a snake that it gets confused for but isn't venomous. Um, so kind of like the idea of getting rid of your poisonous self, which I know venomous and poisonous are two different things. Don't start with me. So kind of like a reminder to myself. So I was thinking about like what I could do for the January sticker, and I was like, when is Lunar New Year? Because if it's during January, I could do Year of the Snake, because that's next year. And I was like, yeah, Year of the Snake, okay. And also like New Year's resolutions and starting things over. And I was kind of thinking about like breaking the cycle a little bit, because that's usually what I try to do with my um, New Year's stuff. And so I thought about the Ouroboros, and I was like, well, what if we just like change that so that we don't actually have to eat ourselves? Because there are like, it is a symbol of like rebirth, which tracks in, but um, there are a lot of ways to like remake yourself that don't involve like eating yourself, right? Like we don't have to self-cannibalize to change ourselves. We can actually just take the pieces of ourselves that we like and make them brighter and bolder, you know? So that's kind of the vibe that I was thinking. Again, Waterboy, these are revelations coming to you from like over a decade of working on it. So, you know. But yeah. So I need to get that done. We'll be painting that on stream probably next week. I'll start that. I just need to get it inked and stuff, and we'll see how gross I feel after all those vaccines. Yeah, I can never do anything simply. Everything I do has like 35,000 different layers of intent behind it. Um, like even this. So it's just like, yeah, cute little rubber duckies, right? No, I had to make it more complicated. So I was just gonna do rubber duckies with bubbles, which is what I did for the washi tape and sticky business. And I was like, well, that's kind of boring, right? So I just kind of thought on it and rubber duckies and all that kind of stuff. And when we did the So Busy sticker sheet a while back, I made a little rubber ducky button because my mom had a set of rubber ducky buttons in her button bin when I was growing up, and I just like very clearly remember them, like they were a staple of my mom's crafting kit for a long time. Um, and so I was like, oh well, what if I did like the rubber ducky buttons, and then instead of having just plain bubbles, I did buttons for bubbles. That's a little bit more unique and original, but also is kind of like this weird nod to my mom, who, as I've mentioned earlier, the stream has passed. Um, So, and passed around um, New Year's and Christmas. She was in the ICU during Christmas. So, like, yes, cute rubber duggies. Also, I'm processing grief through this because I can't do anything simply. You know how it is, right? We all process grief this way, I'm sure. That's actually also going to be the December um, sticker is also involving some grief processing, which is silly. So my grandma always made like this really specific kind of fruit cake, That's like a quick bread with a lot of nuts and dried fruit in it. My grandma is suffering from really bad dementia. We're going to visit her a little bit after Christmas, and so she doesn't remember how to make the fruitcake anymore. Um, and I haven't had it for a really long time because we didn't get to visit her as often once we moved to Alaska. But I thought it would be really the original purpose behind the sticker was I thought it would be funny to force everybody to have fruitcake for the December sticker. And then I was like, well, what can I do to make this a little bit more interesting? And my brain was like, you should process all of your grief. So I have the fruitcake that my grandma used to make, and I have the kind of mug full of whatever liquid you want it to be, um, in the same glaze pattern that my mom's pottery was in. So it started as a hee hee ha ha and turned into a like super emotional piece, which is ridiculous. Why am I like this? I don't know. I think it's honestly, I think it's part of the neurodivergency where I have so many trains of thought all at once all the time that I kind of like end up mashing ideas together that seem obvious to me, but don't seem obvious to anybody else. But yeah, I just put a lot of meaning in stuff. Yeah, for real, Waterboy. Like, I know why, but also, come on. Can you chill a little bit? Yeah, exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you just turn that into your whole personality, making sure that other people have what you didn't. Uh, that's a joke for legal reasons. Um, oh, I should put this away before I do that. Whoop. But I do think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna find somebody to raid, probably. All my usual raid targets are not streaming right now because they're busy. So let me take a peek see at who is live and see what I think. Let's see, I have a few artsy people. I have somebody playing Animal Crossing. We have somebody doing a frog. We like frogs. Um, I don't know, do you guys want to see some wood carving? That's another option. I don't think we want to deal with body horror today. So frogs or wood carving. Those are the two I'm leaning towards. Unless somebody has like a suggestion. I would be open to a suggestion today. You like frogs? Okay, let me switch over to my ending screen because that is in fact what is happening right now. I want to go eat Thanksgiving leftovers. So I'm gonna. I'm also gonna go to the bathroom again because I drank a lot of water. Um, Let me try to be smart and type in the raid command correctly. We'll see. Yeah, thanks everybody for being here and like, I don't know, putting up with me like pinging around every single topic on the entire planet. We talked about some serious business today. So, let me make sure I'm spelling this right. I think I am. Okay. The commands that have just been put in chat are the raid messages. So you can copy and paste the one that's correct for you. The first one has emotes that you can use anywhere on Twitch, no matter if you're subscribed or not. The second one has an emote that you can use if you are subscribed to my channel. Let me actually remember to pull up the stream we're going to. That's generally a good idea. And tens, I will message you about your mailing address and stuff for your little sticker. Wow, my brain just, the second I say that I'm done streaming, my brain just like completely goes offline and it's really funny. There we go. Okay. That's that. You can work on loading. Let me click that through and that should be fine. All right. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being nice to me. Thanks for, sticking through all of these crazy topics that we went through today. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Remember that you're loved because I love you. And if you can't take care of and be kind to yourself or yourself, please do so for me because I think that you're awesome and you deserve nice things, including from yourself, even on the days when it's hard. Okay, so let's be each other's cheerleaders and we can meet back up here next time. Okay? Yeah, good to see you, Grayborn. And thanks everybody for popping in. And I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.